Okay, so we are going to start metals in today's class. Let's see what metals are for. Right, let's see what is metal. First of all, you need to remember metals, and almost 75% of periodic table is made up of metals, right? Your periodic table, almost 75% of your periodic table is made up of what? Metals. And you can say that if you talk about group 1, this is metal. Group 2, this is for metals, transition metals, and even group 3 is also metals, right? And then it will be like this. ये सारे भी आपके पास metals होते हैं, and ये जो नीचे वाले होते हैं आपके पास, ये भी metals ही होते हैं, right? So ये सारे आप देख सकते हो कि almost आपके पास जो periodic table है वो metals है, ठीक है ना? Important कौन से हैं? Group 1, they are very important for us. Group 2 metals, transition metals, they are important for us, right? Group 3 के अंदर अल्मोनियम से start होता है. It will be a good example of metal, and a lot of questions related to this aluminum metal is very important according to past papers and according to US syllabus, right? Then first of all, we need to start with the structure of metal. What about the structure of metal? You know, but so I think in the metallic bonding, you all did about the structure of metal. Metallic bonding में आपने पढ़ा क्या कह रहे बच्चे?
There's one free electron in it.
You can say that, but not only for one free electron. It's all about group 1. अगर आप group 1 की बात करते हो, they all have 1 electron in the outermost shell, and that will be the free electron for group 1. But if you talk about group number 2, definitely you have 2 free electrons. And if you talk about transition metal and aluminum, they may have 3 electrons as well. They are delocalized, right? So actually the structure is like this कि आपके पास जो metals होते हैं उनके atoms, they are connected together like this, right? They are well arranged, right? Like this. They are arranged in layers, okay? And this is a property of metals. They can lose their electrons, right? So whenever they are even in a metal state, they just lose their electrons, right? When the electrons are loose, they become delocalized. अब जो electron था इसके पास, for suppose अगर ये magnesium था तो इसके पास last shell में 2 electrons थे, so ये 2 electrons इसने lose कर दिया, right? तो ये 2 electrons, हर atom के 2 electrons क्या हो गए आपके पास? delocalize हो गए. They are delocalized and they are rotating throughout in the structure, right? They are rotating throughout in the structure. They are now delocalized. Once they lose their electrons, right, they become positively charged, right? All the atoms become what? Positively charged. So you can say that this is what the structure of any metal that has 2 valence electrons, right? Even in a single metal. Right now, they are not completely transferred from them. They just lose their electron inside the structure, right? So the electrons are delocalized inside the structure. Atoms lose their electrons inside the structure. So all the electrons are inside the structure. बेटे किसी का mic on है? बंद कर लो. Now, what happened? Then you need to see that आपके पास जो delocalized electrons होते हैं वो किसी और metal के nucleus से attract होते हैं. Right? तो delocalized electron, ये delocalized electron किसी और atom का होगा और ये किसी और atom के nucleus से attract हो जाएगा. This is what metallic bonding means. This is what metallic bonding means. You need to say that it is actually electrostatic force of attraction. Remember, whenever there is a force of attraction between a positively charged particles, they are known as electrostatic force of attraction. So you can call this attraction electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic force of attraction. But this time, not like ionic bonding, you can say a positively charged ions. You cannot use that word because यहाँ ions के दरमियान नहीं है यहाँ पर आपके पास electrostatic force of attraction. यहाँ पर electrostatic force of attraction है between positive ions and delocalized electrons. Positive ions and delocalized electrons, right? So you can say that this is metallic bonding definition, right? This is a force of attraction which is electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged ions and delocalized electron. This is definition for metallic bonding, right? That is why the metals are strong. Metals strong क्यों होते हैं? Because they have metallic bonding which is inside them, right? एक metal के अंदर ही metallic bonding है. You don't need to consider this कि दो metal के दरमियान है ये. You don't need to consider this. आपके पास एक metal और एक non metal जब मिलता है तो ionic bonding बनती है. You know that. जब दोनों non metal आपस में electrons share करते हैं तो covalent bonding होती है. That's fine. But कभी भी दो metals के दरमियान bonding नहीं होती. ठीक है ना? दो मेटल्स को अगर आप मिक्स करते हैं तो इट विल बी अ मिक्सचर नोन एज alloy, right? You need to keep remember alloys are mixture. There is no bonding between two metals, right? दो मेटल्स के दरमियान कोई बॉन्डिंग नहीं होती. हाँ, विद इन अ मेटल आपके पास कौन सी बॉन्डिंग होती है? मेटालिक बॉन्डिंग. हर मेटल के अंदर उसके अपने अंदर मेटालिक बॉन्डिंग होती है. इज दैट क्लियर एवरी वन ऑफ यू?
Yes, sir.
And you need to keep remember one important point over here. If delocalized electrons increases, if delocalized electrons increases, अगर आपके पास delocalized electrons increase होंगे तो definitely आपके पास metallic bonding increase होगी. metallic bonding आपके पास क्या होगी? increase होगी. once the metallic bonding increase, आपके पास metal की जो strength है वो increase होगी. metal strength आपके पास क्या हो जाएगी बच्चों? increase हो जाएगी. जब metal की strength increase होगी तो आपके पास melting और boiling point उस metal का क्या हो जाएगा बच्चों? increase हो जाएगा. Is that clear? That is why the melting point of sodium is lesser as compared to magnesium. Because magnesium के आखिरी शेल में दो इलेक्ट्रॉन है तो उसके पास दो delocalized इलेक्ट्रॉन होंगे. metallic bonding will be greater in magnesium as compared to sodium. That is why sodium का melting point कम, magnesium का melting point ज्यादा. Is that clear, every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Now, regarding this structure, we have two physical properties that are attached with this structure. और भी बहुत सारी physical properties हो सकती हैं इस structure को लेकर, but हमारे syllabus में इस structure के according दो physical properties बहुत important है. और पहली physical property जो है वो आपके पास है conductivity of electricity. ठीक है ना? अगर आप physical properties की बात करते हो तो physical properties में बच्चों सबसे पहली property जो कि आपको याद रखनी है वो है electricity conductor. So you can say that metals are conductor of electricity. Metals are conductors of electricity. Why they are conductor of electricity? You need to keep remember बच्चों क्यों करते हैं वो electricity conduct? You can see this that they have delocalized electrons. They have delocalized electrons. So when electricity pass through them, they can easily conduct electricity. So you need to keep remember the reason for the conduction of electricity. You can say that they have because they have delocalized electrons. Because they have delocalized electrons. Right, बच्चों? Because they have delocalized electrons. You need to keep remember the difference. I told you in electrochemistry as well. Whenever any element conduct electricity, element. Why I'm saying element? क्योंकि आपके पास सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेटल्स ही इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट नहीं करते हैं. आपके पास एक नॉन मेटल भी है जो कि ग्रेफाइट है जो कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट कर सकता है. इस वजह से मैं एलिमेंट का वर्ड यूज कर रहा हूँ. metals plus graphite. ठीक है ना? तो all these elements can conduct electricity and whenever a single अकेला element जब electricity conduct करता है, it's all about what? It's all about their free electrons. Elements के पास हमेशा क्या होते हैं? Free electrons. ठीक है बच्चों? हाँ, अगर compound होगा तो फिर आप कह सकते हैं they can conduct electricity by the presence of ions. But right now अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं जिंक क्यों इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट करता है, मैं आपसे पूछूं ग्रेफाइट क्यों करता है, मैं आपसे पूछूं आयरन क्यों करता है, मैं आपसे पूछूं सोडियम क्यों करता है, तो आप जवाब दोगे बिकॉज दे हैव फ्री मूविंग इलेक्ट्रॉन्स या डीलोकलाइज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स या मोबाइल इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. आप तीनों में से कोई सा भी लफ्ज इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो. Am I clear, every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Then you must need to know this thing as well. When electricity passed, right? So you can say that electrons आपके पास क्या हो जाते हैं? इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रिप्लेस्ड बाय द न्यू इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या हो जाते हैं आपके पास? रिप्लेस्ड बाय न्यू इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. जब आपके पास इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कंडक्ट होती है तो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जो होते हैं मेटल्स के अंदर वो रिप्लेस हो जाते हैं बाय न्यू इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. ठीक है ना? और पॉजिटिव आयंस उन अपनी जगह पर रहते हैं. पॉजिटिव आयंस remain on their position. Remain on their position. ये भी आपने याद रखना है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जब कंडक्ट होती है तो पॉजिटिव आयन को कुछ नहीं होगा, वो अपनी जगह पे रहेंगे मेटल्स के अंदर, बल्कि जो उनके डीलोकलाइज इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होते हैं वो नए इलेक्ट्रॉन से रिप्लेस हो जाते हैं, बिकॉज वी नो दैट द कंडक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, what is electricity is, it is actually the flow of electrons. So whenever the electrons flow from them, the metals, right, so the new electrons take place the space or the place of previous electrons, right? Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Then the second physical property that you need to keep remember from the structure, you can say that metals have a layered structure, right? So the atoms in metals are, you can see this, they are well arranged in layers, right? So you can say that when you apply a force on them, for suppose you are applying force over here, so you will see that the layers can slide over each other. The layers can slide over each other like this, right? When the layers are going to be slide over each other, that means the structure of the metal is now disturbed and changed. That is why whenever you apply the force on the metals, they just change their shape, and this physical property is known as malleable, right? So you can say that metals are malleable, right? Metals are malleable. And if you want to know the reason for this, you can say that because metals are arranged, या कह सकते हैं आप, because the atoms in metal are arranged in layers, right? And layers can slide over each other by the pressure over each other. Is that right, every one of you? That is why they are malleable, right? Yes, but is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. उसके बाद अगर हम बात करें, so these are the two properties that you need to keep remember regarding metallic bonding and the structure of metals, and then the rest of physical properties, right? For metals, you need to keep remember the few physical properties, like you need to differentiate between alkali metals and transition metal. That is a part of your, you can say that, your periodic table chapter. We have alkali metals, which are the group 1 metals, right? And we have transition metals that are the part between group 2 and group 3, right? So you need to keep remember a difference between these two, right? Few physical properties between these two you need to keep remember. There's a difference. The one is alkali metals are soft metals, right? And transition metals are hard metals, right? And because they are soft metals, so they have low melting point and boiling point, and they have high melting and boiling point. And for your reference, sometime in MCQs is, it will be useful for you. Sodium ka melting point याद नहीं करना आपने, just for your reference, it is somewhere 98 degrees Celsius. And if you talk about iron ka melting point, so it will be somewhere like 1538 degrees Celsius. So you can see the difference in melting point in these two metals, right? Then they have low densities and they have high densities. Okay. And if you want to see the difference in densities, you need to keep remember sodium is a very low density, so it can float on the surface of water. It is gram per centimeter cube, less than water. And if you talk about iron, so it will be 6.98 gram per centimeter cube. ठीक है, आप लोग जरा ये लिखो, मैं 1 मिनट में आ रहा हूँ, ठीक है? Just let me check my son, what happened with him, and just coming back. ठीक है ना? They can ask in this way, like वो आपसे एग्जाम पैटर्न क्वेश्चंस में इस तरह पूछ सकता है. Examiner can ask you question like this, write any one property any one physical property of iron which is different from alkali metals. So you need to write like this. For suppose they can ask, write any two physical properties, right? Any two physical properties, right? Any two physical properties of iron that are different from sodium. It can ask like this, ठीक है ना? So you need to keep remember कि आप ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते उस एग्जामिनर को कि भाई मुझे तो पता ही नहीं, आप मुझसे क्यों पूछ रहे हो आयरन के बारे में, या वो क्यों पूछ रहे हो मुझसे टिन के बारे में, क्या आप मुझसे क्यों एंटीमनी के बारे में पूछ रहे हो. डिफरेंट मेटल्स, ट्रांजिशन मेटल्स वो यूज कर सकता है, तो आप उसको हरगिज मना नहीं कर सकते कि हमने तो ये देखा ही नहीं जिंदगी में, हम कैसे जवाब दें इसका. सो यू कैन यूज दिस वन ना. आप ये डिफरेंस यूज कर सकते हो. दिस इज द जनरल डिफरेंस बिटवीन एवरी एल्कली एंड एवरी ट्रांजिशन मेटल. तो अगर वो सोडियम की जगह पर रुबिडियम भी यूज करता है या वो सीजियम भी यूज करता है, सो यू नो द आंसर, राइट. और अगर वो आयरन की जगह पर टिन भी यूज करता है या एंटीमनी यूज करता है या टंगस्टन यूज करता है, you know the answers, right. So you need to keep remember the difference, journal difference. So you need to write कि यार हाँ ट्रांजिशन मेटल्स कैसे होते हैं, हार्ड होते हैं, उनका मेल्टिंग बॉइलिंग पॉइंट हाई होता है, या उनकी अगर मेल्टिंग बॉइलिंग पॉइंट दिखता है तो सिर्फ मेल्टिंग पॉइंट भी चलेगा, या आप उसमें लिख सकते हो हाई डेंसिटी, any two among these, right बच्चों.
यस सर.
देन आपके पास इनके अलावा, इन तीन फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज के अलावा, जी
सर आपने क्या लिखा है? राइट एनी टू प्रॉपर्टीज
ऑफ आयरन या कोई सा भी ट्रांजिशन मेटल दैट आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम सोडियम, या कोई सा भी एल्कली मेटल, राइट.
ओके.
देन जर्नल फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज में आपके पास आ जाती हैं सारी वो फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज जो कि हर मेटल की हो सकती हैं, चाहे आपके पास वो ट्रांजिशन मेटल हो, चाहे आपके पास वो एल्कली मेटल हो, चाहे वो ग्रुप 2 का मेटल हो. एवरी फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी विल इंक्लूडेड ओवर हियर. लाइक कौन सी हो सकती हैं? ऑल द मेटल्स आर कंडक्टर of electricity and heat. All the metals are malleable, right? All the metals are shiny, right? All the metals are ductile. All the metals are sonorous. तो ये properties journal है, ठीक है ना? ये आ सकती हैं हर metal में, ठीक है ना? Malleable, ductile, shiny and sonorous. तो ये सब में आ जाएगी. सही है बच्चों? So अगर वो आपसे पूछता है बताएं any one physical property या any two physical property that are similar to sodium, या वो आपसे पूछे for suppose write down any two physical properties of scandium. अब scandium is one of the transition metal, right? And they're asking write down any two physical properties of scandium that are similar to alkali metal, और alkali metal में वो आपसे rubidium बोल दे या potassium बोल दे या sodium या lithium बोल दे. So you need to keep remember that all the metals are conductor, all the metals are shiny, all the metals are ductile. So you can use any property, any one of the five, right? Right, बच्चों?
Yes, sir.
यस सर. सर आपने
So
जनरल
these are
फिजिकल
the questions.
प्रॉपर्टीज के
क्या
सबसे
कह रहे थे?
आखिरी वाला, जनरल फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी में सबसे आखिरी वाला आपने क्या लिखा है?
Sonorous. I think you all are aware about this property. Sonorous means whenever you hit any metal, it will produce a specific sound. Like आपने देखा होगा हम लोग घर में सो रहे होते हैं और बाहर बच्चे जो है ना, क्या नाम है, वो जो पोल बजा रहे होते हैं, टन 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 टन. तो there is a specific sound of metals when you hit them, so they will produce a sharp sound, right?
Sir, like a bell, right?
Yes.
Like a bell, almost like a bell.
Yes, you can say that, right? Okay, so bachcho, I'm just stopping my class over here. I'm not teaching you the whole hour today because my son is not well, so I need to go to the doctor. So that is why I just going to end this class, and we will compensate this time later on, right bachcho?